Last 3 weeks, we've been trying to uncover who is responsible for these attack mailers. They are the work of a group whose activity is shrouded in secrecy, but legal nonetheless. Today, though, after searching through tax forms, we got our answer. In a blistering direct mail ad, voters in the 55th Senate District are being told that Democratic candidate Ted O'Brien betrayed women by siding with a judge accused of sexual harassment.
Well, it's your typical political slam ad. So just glancing at it, that's the first reaction that comes to mind.
You know, when you see something like that, does that influence how you vote?
No, it does not.
Negative ads like this one aren't new in bare-knuckle campaigns. But what is becoming more prevalent is the ability to levy serious attacks with complete anonymity. But get this, these serious attacks can often be levied by secret groups who don't have to tell you who they really are.
We need to know who the people are. It matters when you're trying to judge your candidates, who's supporting them and who's backing them.
The mailers say they are paid for by a group called Common Sense Principles. We wanted to find out more about them, to uncover what their agenda was. But we quickly discovered that would not be an easy task.
And we're going to be just fine on Election Day.
We decided to start with the target of the ad.
And it's tough as a candidate, frankly, to absorb a lot of that. We get attacked day after day after day.
O'Brien says he has no idea who's behind the mailers.
It was unfortunate to see these groups that don't identify themselves attack me in a way that's been characterized by campaign watchdog groups as, you know, drastically exaggerated or outright false.
You still see families struggling.
His opponent, Republican Sean Hanna, likewise says he doesn't know who's sending the mailers and has repudiated them, saying he is running his own campaign.
What we do is we plan our campaign. We identify the issues we want to talk about, and we go out and we talk about them. That's what we've done, completely straightforward, completely above board.
The mailer bears similarities to a television ad with the same theme.
Judges make enemies. That's what Ted O'Brien said when...
But the TV spots are the work of the Republican State Leadership Committee, a national political action committee which is registered with the state of New York and has a donor list that spans the entire United States. A spokesman for the group says they are not aligned with Common Sense Principles. So we investigated the Virginia return address on the mailer, but discovered it was a mailbox at a UPS store. No matter, certainly we could learn more about this PAC through its filings at the Board of Elections. Another dead end, as Common Sense Principles has not filed with the state. So how can this shadow organization spend thousands of dollars injecting itself into a local political campaign without disclosing who is funding the attacks? We found a loophole in the state law that allows them to remain a mystery. These are the State Board of Elections regulations. They say groups that spend money expressly advocating for the election or defeat of a candidate have to file with the state. Because the O'Brien mailer doesn't include specific language like vote, oppose, support, or elect, the sender is legally sidestepping those requirements.
This now clouds it to a degree unlike anything I've ever seen before in my years in politics.
Back to our efforts to track down who is behind Common Sense Principles. The organization has a website, a Facebook page, and a Twitter account. All of them actively take shots at O'Brien, as well as 2 other candidates running for state office downstate. We tried leaving messages on those sites, but never got any response. But late today, I uncovered this: last year's tax forms for Common Sense, a not-for-profit based in suburban Richmond, Virginia. Its stated mission is advocating smaller government and responsible tax and budget policies. And listed as the director is Christopher LaCivita.
Governor's race in Missouri that we had done.
That's him in a 2011 news interview. LaCivita is a Republican strategist who has worked on many national campaigns and reportedly advised the Swift Boat veterans during the 2004 presidential campaign. I called him today and asked him his interest in this local state Senate race, but he declined comment. The emergence of anonymous but legal attack ads is leading to calls from Democrats and Republicans to look at legislation that would require more disclosure and create more transparency. Until then, voters have no choice but to guess the sender's motives. You know, one of the biggest complaints we hear during election season is the ugly attack ads and the mudslinging. Voters often feel there isn't a lot they can do about it. But in many cases, it isn't the work of the other candidate, but a third party with its own agenda. And while some may try to remain anonymous, like Common Sense, most others do file with the state or federal election boards, and they do post financial information about these groups on their websites. So it does pay to do a little homework and check them out. Rich?
All right, Brett Davidson with our report. Thanks, Brett.